past lurks like a phantom, clinging to the edges of memory, whispering that you can never escape its shadow. It prods at your nightmares, painted with regret, heartbreak, promises broken, and dreams that died in the cradle. Yet the past is a mausoleum, a place of echoes, while the future is a wide, wild expanse, glowing with untapped possibility. The hardest part is admitting that the past can only trap you if you give it permission. And oh, how sly it is, pretending to offer comfort, nostalgia, the illusion of lessons learned. But the moment you open that coffin again, you're wrestling with ghosts that aim to stunt your growth and chain you to haunted corridors. Let them howl. Your future begs for your presence, your courage, your surrender to what lies ahead. The cunning realization is that the past doesn't need you at all. It stands, frozen in its own timeline, uninterested in your new revelations. However, the future aches for your involvement, for your breath, for every ounce of determination you can bring to its doorstep. That ache is restless, stirring at odd hours, tugging at your soul, reminding you that you are capable of molding tomorrow into something magnificent, provided you refuse the past's call for one more dance. Let the mausoleum crumble. Let the echoes fade. Every day you spend shackled to old pains is a day stolen from becoming the force that reshapes fate. The future extends an invitation written in the ink of daring. Its music stings the ears of those who cling to yesterday, but sings of triumph for those who heed it. A twisted sense of humor emerges when you realize how often the past tries to lure you back. Memories call, vowing they've changed, that they'll be kinder this time. But memory is a treacherous siren that leads ships onto rocks, devours them with reminiscences. The future, in contrast, stands silent, but not empty. It requires your pledge, your fiery commitment. Its silence is an open stage awaiting your command performance. Do you want to rehash what was, a cycle that never ends, or dare to orchestrate what could be? One is predictable stagnation. The other is uncharted conquest. Opt for conquest. Let your footsteps echo down corridors no one's walked, rather than pacing the same worn halls of yesteryear. People hesitate, eyes lingering on the comforting illusions of old times. They convince themselves the past holds secrets key to unlocking joy. Yet so often, the past is a trickster, peddling faulty lessons, illusions of safety. Every moment spent caressing that old ghost is a moment your future stands neglected, waiting at the crossroads with infinite roads diverging into the unknown. And perhaps the unknown is frightening, but fear has always been the price for freedom. Gaze inward and sense the momentum pulsing inside you, a shadow of possibility. Its rhythm matches the heartbeat of destiny, demanding you finally let the ghost go. The future, your future, is an impatient monarch. It grants no pity, accepts no excuses. Time advances like a relentless tide, caring little for the anchors that keep you grounded in old mistakes. To break free is to slay the illusions that your best moments lie behind you, that you can't surpass, the heights or horrors of what has already transpired. The future is a canvas trembling for your paintbrush, a stage hungry for your drama. Yet it remains powerless unless you commit fully, unless you burn bridges that lead back to the labyrinth of regret. Burn them gladly, laughing at the flames, for ashes pave new roads. A villainous glee may stir inside when imagining the old memories crumbling into dust. There is power in severing ties with what has ceased to serve you. It's not cruelty, but survival. The past drains your energy like a parasite, a silent assassin that feeds on missed chances and illusions. Liberate yourself. Let each day be a forged weapon, each night a forging of dreams. Dismissing the past is not an insult to what shaped you. It's an acknowledgement that life does not wait. The future thrives on your courage, your risk, your refusal to remain the same. What is the future without you playing your part? A meaningless stretch of time populated by half-hearted attempts at replication. You are the architect, the conductor, the wild card. You step onto the stage and overshadow old scenes with your new script. Society tries to keep you loyal to the past, to the roles assigned by old memories, but your defiance in forging a different tomorrow shakes them to their core. They can't fathom how anyone can just walk out of the past's grip, forging new legends. Let them tremble. Your future belongs to you, not to the voices that whisper from yesterday's coffin. The sweet sting of possibility emerges when you vow never to surrender to old patterns. Reinvention takes a brutal honesty, a willingness to battle each day against the siren song of nostalgia. But oh, the freedom found in consciously choosing the new. Let the echoes behind you fade, those you once were, or once feared you might be. This moment, this breath, this burning desire to turn the future into an empire of your own design, that is what matters. The past does not. And if the past tries to resurrect itself, you bury it again. Deeper this time, more permanent, leaving no epitaph. As you stride into tomorrow, your footprints mark untrodden territory. Each forward motion denies the past an audience. You might stumble, sure, and that's part of the allure. But stumbling forward is infinitely more powerful than standing still, chained to older versions of yourself. Mastering this mindset demands you reaffirm each day, each hour if needed, that no ghost from behind can reshape the chapters yet unwritten. The future is creation, sculpted by your thoughts, hammered by your actions, animated by your refusal to yield. In the grand stage of the mind, the past and the future stand as mere phantoms, seductive illusions conjured from memory and longing. They seem so tangible, so authoritative, yet neither holds solid ground in the reality we tread each moment. The mind adores weaving these tapestries, dreams and recollections, distracting from what is truly alive, the present moment. Consider how much torment originates from regrets over a past that has evaporated, or anxieties about a future that hasn't even dawned. People pace the floors, haunted by the ghosts of decisions they can never reclaim, haunted by the emptiness of a tomorrow that only exists in their imagination. But the present is your pulse, your breath, the scorching heartbeat of real existence. Everything else is conjured by the mind's restless wanderings. It's humorous, in a dark, cosmic way, how the mind spins illusions so vividly that people forget what's real. They live not in the moment, but in echoes of memory or silhouettes of possibility, neither of which they can hold in their hands. Let those illusions go. The present alone stands unshakable, the only platform where you can actually act, choose, and become. Feel the pull of memory, trying to anchor you in fading images. Feel the tug of anticipation, trying to propel you into corridors of speculation. Both drives aim to pry you away from the subtle thunder of now. Memory beckons with comfort or regret. Anticipation beckons with both hope and dread. Yet each time you detach from the presence beating in your chest, you let illusions run the show. The mind, if allowed, becomes a puppeteer, tugging you back and forth between times that hold no substance in your present reality. The spectacle could almost be entertaining if it weren't so tragic. People chase relief or explanation in these temporal illusions, ignoring that all the beauty, all the power, all the raw transformation is locked in the present. The mind's biggest trick is convincing you that your power lies in days gone or yet to come. A cunning lie that stifles creation and fosters passivity. The now is the forge where life actually happens. Each breath is a decision point, a chance to pivot or continue, to destroy or create, to speak or remain silent. But illusions lurk, feeding on regrets of the past, gnawing on fears of what might loom ahead. They gnaw away at the sinews of action, rendering you immobile, stuck in a mental limbo, neither fully alive nor resting in peace. The present begs for your involvement, your full devotion. Yet how often do you watch yourself slip away, drifting into mental tapestries that promise only heartbreak or unattainable redemption? The tragedy is that this quiet moment, the only place where you can truly hold your life in your hands, slips by unacknowledged, overshadowed by illusions of what has faded and what has yet to form. The key is to remain vigilant, not letting the phantoms of then or the mirages of soon devour your chance at shaping the present into something meaningful. This dance between illusions and reality is older than any civilization. Elders have whispered warnings about living in illusions. Philosophers have penned entire volumes on the folly of missing the now. Yet the human psyche remains obstinate, clinging to ghosts and chasing mirages. Perhaps it's because illusions demand nothing. The past cannot be rearranged. The future cannot be forced. People find comfort in that paradoxical helplessness. There's something almost twistedly appealing about lamenting a dead past or worshiping an unborn future, neither of which requires true engagement. Meanwhile, the present stands like a silent sentinel, offering infinite creative power to those who dare to stand firm in its rawness. It is here you hammer your identity, your destiny, your every outcome. If only you could pry your attention away from mental illusions. The cost of failing to do so is incalculable. A life half-lived, spent in intangible worlds that cannot feed the spirit. Look around. Observe how the world distracts and dissuades. Every ticking second offers another external reason to exit the present. Endless notifications, cycles of news, swirling gossip, mindless scrolling. These noises whisper that the present is insufficient, that you should dwell on something else. But that's the trap. The present is the only realm you can command. Memory? A hollow reenactment. Projection? A haunting daydream. The present might be grim at times, might be joyous at times, but it is real. And in reality lies the potential for transformation, an alchemy that illusions will never grant. Each moment of presence becomes a step away from illusions, from the mental shackles that so elegantly lull the unsuspecting into passive existence. Embrace it. Let it crack open your illusions. Let them shatter at your feet. The world's illusions want to lull you into acceptance, but the present roars for your creative defiance. The dark humor is that you could escape illusions anytime you wish, if you refuse to feed them energy. They feed off your focus, thriving when you indulge memories with undue reverence or let anxious fantasies coil around your mind. But redirect that energy to the present, and illusions starve. Their hold diminishes. The mind is cunning, attempting to lure you back into the labyrinth of what was or might be. Resist by anchoring to what is, the tactile feel of life swirling around you, right now. the body grounded in sensation, the breath a constant anchor, the unstoppable flow of real experience. In that presence, illusions lose their color and fade like dreams at dawn. Yes, the present is not always comfortable. It doesn't sugarcoat your flaws or shield you from pain. But discomfort is more real, more potent than any fantasy. Embracing it grants you the possibility of growth. You start to see how ephemeral illusions are, how easily they crumble under scrutiny. The present demands you face your weaknesses with no escape route into a rosy recollection or a distant promise. Yet that confrontation, that humility, is the very process that refines your character. It's the crucible that strips away delusion and reveals a shining sense of self. The illusions call that crucible harsh, but harshness is far more valuable than living a lie. So you stay, hands blackened from forging your own destiny in the fires of nowness, free from the cartoonish narratives illusions try to impose. Others might interpret your commitment to the present as aloof, or perhaps even cold. They cannot imagine how one can exist outside the labyrinth of memory or speculation. But your perspective doesn't rely on their comprehension. Let them remain entangled, convinced that controlling the past or hypnotizing themselves with the future is the ticket to meaning. You've seen beyond that. Once illusions lose their hold, a certain savage clarity sets in. That clarity shakes the foundation of every pretense that once oppressed you. The world might call you villainous for stepping outside the illusions it markets. Let them. If living in the present, fully and unapologetically, is villainous, so be it. At least you're alive in the only dimension that matters. The present moment is all. Past and future are mere constructs of the mind, enticements that lead nowhere. Embrace the present, and the illusions vanish like smoke, leaving only a raw life that begs for your engagement. Stand firm in that single, transformative breath, refusing to let memory or dreams steal the power of your now. Let illusions wither, and watch how your perspective unmasks the illusions of others. Freed from imaginary burdens, you navigate existence with an intensity that unnerves those trapped in the labyrinth of when. Their gasps of confusion become background noise. Your focus is here. Your intensity is here. And no illusions can replicate the authenticity found in that stance. Because your future needs you, your past doesn't.